We are off and running. Height doesn't make an impact there. Sparks use every bit of the bunnies. It gets the Ball State offense averaging 76 points a contest. In possession of the rock early. As for EMU, they're allowing 77 1/10 points per game to opponents. That's the second worst mark in the MAC. Sparks looking for an outlet. He finds Gorosito early. Trying to spin, but good closeout defense. Forces a turnover. Good closeout from Osoynik. That gives us a chance to take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by McGuff Roofing. Expert roofing service you can trust. It's Deshaun Nelson, Jalen Terry, Christian Henry, John Chanu II, and Arne Osoynik. The five out there for the Eagles. This is Terry for three. Leaves it a bit left, but a good offensive board corralled by Nelson. He kicks around. There's Osoynik with a midi. No good. Rebound with Hill and the Cardinals. Gives us a chance to take a look at their lineup as well. It's Hill, Britton Watts, Pearson Jr., Gorosito, and Sparks, 1 through 5. Look for the squad rocking their white uniforms with red trim. Sparks draws a double. Has open men outside, decides to try to go up with an errant look. Rebound winds up with the visitor.
Yeah, if I'm the Cardinals, that was a really ugly possession. No off-ball movement right there to help the big fella out.
That's what allows Eastern Michigan this look. Had the answer for Sparks on the first two defensive efforts. It's a point of emphasis from their head coach, Stan Heath, who quoted Peyton Sparks as being one of the best players in conference play in all of the MAC.
Generous words from Coach Heath.
Terry's got the mismatch on Sparks. Tried to flip one over to Chanu. He couldn't corral it. Gorosito going to slow things down. Watts from the wing all the way to the basket and able to lay it off the glass. Good job getting it through the cylinder. That's how the score gets started. Call it 2-0 Ball State with 18 and change to play in the first half.
Yeah, really good dribble penetration by Britton Watts, able to get that guard on his back hip and just use his momentum to carry him to the hoop for two.
Christian Henry inside with an answer of his own. Put a little finesse on it, able to lay it in.
You know, AJ, this is going to be a really interesting matchup to watch these guards go at it. When you have for Ball State and for Eastern Michigan, it's going to be a really interesting matchup down the way.
Britton Watts, maybe feeling himself a bit. Will pass it off. Here's Gorosito for three. A bit long, can't get the friendly roll. Rebound with Jalen Terry and company. Terry tries a bouncer inside. Good look for Nelson, who hasn't ripped by Pearson. Here come Hill and the Cardinals. This guy can fly. Oh, yeah. Too easy for number one.
Man, when Hill gets down, and Hill, ironically, when he gets downhill in transition, he is a highlight waiting to happen. So athletic, so fast, and really good hands by Mickey Pearson to start that transition.
Fat Hill, a walking highlight reel. On the other end, maybe not the flashiest way to get points, but Deshaun Nelson will happily take his trip to the line. A 74.8% shooter. A transfer from DePaul University came over with Jalen Terry. They're now core members of this Eastern Michigan group.
Oh, absolutely. Nelson is the leading scorer for this team. Really good down low for them. And he's also added some tools to his game where he's been able to stretch the floor himself. Keep an eye out for number 2 Nelson as he looks to leave an impact on this game early.
Nelson, one of 3 players that Ball State coach Michael Lewis mentioned you have to scheme against, saying that he could drop 30 on any given night. The fans in Worthen chanting for tater tots. They won't be granted early. Only offered from Roots Burger Bar should there be consecutive missed free throws in a contest by the visitor. Now with a 1-point lead, it's Mickey Pearson up top. First time in is Jeremiah Hernandez. He's chasing history tonight. 6 points from 1,000 on the career. Sparks trapped on an island. Able to find Britton Watts, who is picked up by the big man. 3 on the shot clock. Sparks, 3. No good. Only his second try from beyond the arc this season. Now 1 for 2. As there's an offensive foul on the other end. Xander, it's exactly what you can't do in transition. After really good defense from Eastern Michigan, they make the mistake on the offensive end.
Yeah, and AJ, that's just not something you want to do right there. You already have an amazing defensive possession. You're able to force Sparks into a three, and if you're Eastern Michigan, that's the shot you want them to take. But don't bail them out by doing something so careless as to get an offensive foul early into the shot clock of that possession. You got to try to fix some of those mental errors, as I like to call them, if you're going to have any hopes of competing in this game.
Here's Hill, had the transition points, now he buries a triple. Fat Hill feeling it early, he's got 5 of the Cardinals' 7, ups the lead to 4.
Yeah, Hill not known for his ability to stretch the floor, but if he's able to get that part of his game going, it could be pretty scary for the opposing team.
Here's Jalen Terry, between the legs, pull-up triple. Can't find the answer, Hill grabs the board.
Terry 0 for 2 on this game. Just trying to find his mark right now.
Hill over the top to Sparks. Gets 2 men to jump and 1! Big-time finish from number 5. And it's what we've grown used to from Peyton Sparks. The Cardinals filling out the stat sheet early. Everyone eating on the offensive end. It has them off to a quick 9-3 lead. Behind this look from Jermari Hill in transition.
Fans, tonight's game is sponsored by the Village Promenade, located in the heart of the Village Promenade.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $379 per month lease on a 2025 CR-V all-wheel drive Sport L Hybrid.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3.
Woo! And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this. Come on.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
Mid-American Conference Basketball on ESPN is brought to you by Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union. Reed's Plumbing, call the best, flush the rest. IU Health, get back in the game with expert orthopedic and sports medicine care in Muncie. And American Pest Professionals, tackle your pest problems with our Ball State special. Ball State on a 5-0 run in the last minute 25. It's 7-1 in the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds. The Cardinals have caught fire and haven't looked back. Xander, it's really been about spreading the rock offensively. Peyton Sparks on your screen will be at the line to try to finish an and one when we're out of this timeout.
Yeah, AJ, and that was one of the keys that we were mentioning about earlier into the game when we said that Ball State needs to be able to get out in transition, needs to be able to cause some turnovers. And what we're seeing right now, we've seen back-to-back really strong defensive possessions where they've been able to cause the turnover of possession for themselves, and they've been able to get fast break points. And then as you see with that and one opportunity for Peyton Sparks, you're able to slow it down. Another dimension of their game that has really been improving as of late, being able to feed Sparks in the low post. He has really strong hands, really nimble for a guy his size, and then he's able to just finish it off there off the top of the glass with touch and finesse.
PS5, a threat down low who has improved himself at the free throw line this season. To note for Eastern Michigan is Jalen Billingsley into the contest for the first time. He replaces John Chanou, who will get a quick breather. Sparks looks to cap off the three-point play and does just that, nothing but nylon. Cardinals reach the double digits first.
Find Eastern Michigan here, trying to find, a quick bucket, something that's gonna be able to help us respond.
That's not what you're looking for to get into pace on offense. Great hustle from EBW. Still winds up off on him. But 9 seconds dribble off of the shot clock. Coach Lewis is loving it.
Yeah, AJ, Eastern Michigan just looks out of sorts right now, especially from their guard play. And all year, that's kind of been the position that they've really been their strongest at. So a little bit out of character for Eastern Michigan, as again, they're just mishandling dribble handoffs and routine plays like that.
Have to feel it's only a matter of time for the green and white. Henry soars like an eagle above Henricks. There it is. Eastern right back.
Oh, what a beautiful move by Henry, able to cause separation with that step back. Might not be the tallest, but he has a strong lower half, able to elevate and knock down that mid-range shot.
He's able to generate about 6 feet on that one. We're not social distancing. Fat Hill, Mickey Pearson, birthday boy, just short. Pearson turned 24 today, the 6th-year senior. One of many Cardinals with a reason to turn it on this evening. Here comes Deshaun Nelson, tough finish, can't slither through. Ben Hendricks grabs the board. Hernandez runs the one momentarily. He's being face guarded by Billingsley. Hill off the pick. Good eye outside. Here's Hernandez. Through contact, no call, couldn't finish, able to fight for the board. Ethan Britton Watts from NBA range. Rattles out. And the rebound is with Jalen Billingsley and the Eagles.
You know, that possession didn't end with points, but you really just have to admire the hustle and effort by Jeremiah Hernandez, able to corral his own miss, tip it back out to a teammate, and for a good-looking three-point opportunity right there.
A good foul on Fat Hill down low. He had a clear mismatch against a guy nearly a foot taller than him. As Yusuf Jihad is into the game, the brother of former Ball State budding star Bashir Jihad, has spent his career at Eastern Michigan after transferring from Oakland University following the 2020-2021 season. And it's Mason Jones into the game, as well as Gorosito back in for the white and red. Christian Henry wants to get it going against a big man. Uses his speed, creates space, can't finish. Rebound goes to Jones, fresh off the bench. Here's Hernandez, he can fly, and he rocks the rim.
A birthday flush for Jeremiah Hernandez. What a statement to introduce yourself to the newly 24-year-old Hernandez.
Hernandez 4 points away from 1,000 in his collegiate career with that dunk. As Billingsley finishes on the other end, the Eagles bullying Ben Hendricks. That's 3 straight scores on number 34.
Yeah, Hendricks, he's a little bit of a more lighter type of build in terms of contrast with Sparks. But he offers a little bit more of a wiry build that's able to corral offensive rebounds and, you know, really good passer out of the post.
Mason Jones was open on the back end. Instead, they'll settle for a contested look, but Ben Hendricks makes the baby hook look easy. 34 brings us back in time, and the Cardinals doubling up the Eagles with 12:50 to go in the first half.
It was a beautiful two-man game right there between Hendricks and Hill.
Tough finish from Christian Henry. We've grown used to it from the 6'3" redshirt junior, but by no means is that an easy finish. He just makes it look as such.
Yeah, he's able just to get into the body of the big. That's what you want to do as a guard. You want to get into his chest, be able to get some type of separation, and then you see right there he's able to physically finish for 2.
Mason Jones threw a double down low. Wanted to look out, has to go up. Can't get it, but rebound is with Hernandez. He has it ripped away on the way up. Last touched by an Eagle. Lead to a look from the far side baseline for the Cardinals. Gives Eastern Michigan a chance to give Jalen Billingsley a break, a guy who played under Patrick Ewing at Georgetown as a freshman. Spent the last 3 seasons now with the Eagles up in Ypsilanti. Hilda Hendricks, too high off the glass, and here comes Jalen Terry and Eastern Michigan. The other end, Ben Hendricks not happy with the call, but finding the floor and the foul. Able to draw it was Deshaun Nelson.
Not really sure what Hendricks is complaining about. Nelson established position pretty well there, but he's just getting a little handsy, a little too physical, pushing him right from behind, and you're going to get that call on the offense every single time.
Look to Christian Henry here. He started off 3 for 4 on the day with 6 points. 2/3 of those Eagles total, and he's the one carrying the rock, number 30 in green and white. Was schemed up for him. He's trying to go to town. From downstairs, back outside to Nelson. Not a real threat beyond the arc. Ball State aware of that. They close in. Good block. Better second chance effort. Yusuf Jihad gets it to go for 2.
Yusuf Jihad, the brother of former Cardinal Bashir Jihad. Nice to see 2 brothers. One moving on to Arizona State. The other one right back here in Worthen Arena.
Eastern Michigan with 1 more board than the Cardinals to this point. Hill didn't want to force a second chance, would have liked to bury that, but that was a good idea. The right one to go up through pressure. It'll lead us to a media break with Ball State up by 3, and Fat Hill ready for a couple of shots from the charity stripe when we're back. Jeremiah Hernandez climbs the ladder and nails it home. Fat Hill's had himself a day to lead the Cardinals to a 3-point lead.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $379 per month lease on a 2025 CR-V all-wheel drive Sport L Hybrid.
At Planet Fitness, no 2 members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3. Woo!
And they do it for different reasons.
All right.
You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this. Come on.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
1 more, everybody.
1 more? I got 5 more.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
Ball State leads Eastern Michigan by 3. It's a series with a lot of history. For more on that, we'll check in with Griffin Leonard.
Thank you, AJ. A very happy Tuesday, February 11th to you both. And if you wonder why I specified today's date, it's because today is a special spot on the calendar in the history of this series. February 11th, 1947 marked the first ever meeting between these 2 schools, a contest that saw Ball State emerge victorious by 41 points. And 1947 seems like ages ago, doesn't it? Of course, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier that year, and in fact, yesterday would have been Jackie and Rachel Robinson's 79th wedding anniversary. It's always fascinating to see the history that exists within the world of sports. Happy Tuesday, gentlemen.
Amazing stuff, Griffin, and happy Tuesday to you as well. It'll be Fat Hill at the line to shoot 2 out of the break. Looking to add to a Cardinals 3-point lead that has been mounted between 5 different scoring efforts offensively.
Also in 20, Joey Hart. 2 shots for Jamari.
Out of the break, Joey Hart sees the floor for the first time for the Cardinals as Hill's first look is good. For Eastern Michigan, it's Dylan Tingler out there for the first time. Hill gets the friendly hop and has a perfect trip to the line. The 66% free throw shooter just helped that matchup. Just over 11 minutes in half number 1 to go. Eastern Michigan looks to climb out of a 5-point hole. Nelson, spin move, better defense from Jones. It's headed the other way. Number 24 puts on the clamps.
Yeah, Mason Jones, he's somebody that's been coming on as of late off the bench for Ball State. Really active hands, and Nelson was giving him the work down low. He was definitely giving him his money's worth in terms of physicality, but he stuck with it, able to have active hands and punch out the ball. And there you see he's able to get another turnover for Ball State.
Ball State looking to capitalize off of Eastern's fourth turnover. That's one way to do it. Thad Hill makes the impossible look possible, and on the other end, catching the Cardinals defense sleeping, Arneo Soynik hauls in a good pass, and the deficit right back to 5.
Yeah, Soynik might have caught me sleeping. I didn't even see the pass leave the guard's hands, and just like that, they're able to score a quick 2.
Gorosito, Jones, bingo. With a man on the floor, 24 finds Nylon.
There goes Mason Jones again. That spark off the bench, like we talked about, he's been coming on really well as of late.
Averaging just 2 points a contest, exceeds it early with that triple. Sean Nelson loses the basketball. They'll say it was out on Jones. He's had a couple good hustle defensive possessions.
Cardinals sub returning, number 2, Ethan Watts.
Hill gets a breather. Britton Watson for the Cardinals. Lead up to 8. And that'll quickly bring Christian Henry back in as well. He'll actually do the inbounding service as Jalen Terry heads to the bench, the Flint, Michigan native. Henry surveys his options and hits Chanu the second. Right back to Henry. Wing 3, needed it, couldn't get it. Good effort from Tingler. The possession lives on. Chanu inside, too big. And a quick finish for number 33.
Beautiful find by Nelson to hit a cutting Chanu. That's just really good basketball. Able to manipulate the Ball State defense right there with that pass.
Gorosito, bouncer to Sparks. Far side corner, Britton Watts. Where Jones hit his last three-point jumper. Didn't have the space he did last time, however. Sparks from the line, cuts through, can't finish. But how about that athleticism? Big man earns 2 looks at the line, and Xander, how electric would that have been if it turned into a three-point play?
Oh, AJ, that would have blown the roof out of this place. I'm just more so concerned on that fall. That's a big boy coming at you at full speed, almost 270 pounds. Just glad that he's able to get up okay. He's able to almost put number 33 Chanu on a highlight play. That would have been a ESPN top 10 for sure. At least a candidate.
Chanu just glad that one didn't go home. So Sparks has to earn him the hard way.
Oh, for sure. If I'm ever playing somebody and they're about to dunk on me, oh, best believe you're going to get a little bit more elbow than you are. I'm going to get a little bit more of your body than the ball for sure if I know you're a high riser.
Everyone aware of Sparks' ability to get up. He moves to 3 for 3 on the contest at the line. It's been vast improvement from number 5. Last outing for Ball State against Southern Miss went 5 for 5, so now 8 for his last 8 at the free throw line.
Yeah, absolutely. Sparks' emergence has been a really nice addition to this team.
Henry misses a teardrop. Gorosito going to push the pressure the other way.
A little bit of going back and forth right there between Nelson and Jones. That's been a physical matchup so far.
Jalen Terry back into Ball State, 33.
That time, Gorosito wanted to find Sparks. Got a little too flashy, and it'll send him to the bench. That's the Coach Lewis way. So Hernandez right back onto the floor. His team up by 8. Jalen Terry likely has plans to cut into such. Christian Henry, fresh off of a 13-point day. Right back to Terry. With the left hand, wanted to pull up, finds an open man. Billingsley thought about it. Now there's 6 to shoot. No call. 3 left. Henry, deep. No good. Rebound goes to Joey Hart and company. The Cardinals defense stepping up big time. It's a group that ranks 323 out of 360 total NCAA Division I teams. They're in the bottom 10% defensively. Not today, you wouldn't be able to tell it. Sparks, spin move. He walked. One too many from number 5 in white and red.
I think the quickness of Sparks might have surprised Surprised the Eastern Michigan defender right there. He's like a dancing bear out there. Very nimble on his feet as he's able to come out of the game with the turnover. They're going to put Jones back in.
Eight to play in half number one. The story has been defense, defense, defense. Points hard to come by. Eastern Michigan can't buy a bucket right now. Nelson looking to cash in through the defense. Oh yeah, tooth and nail. Number 2 off the glass and in.
Yeah, that was a really nice move by Nelson to get the defender up in the air. He's able to finish under the rim for somebody his height. You know, able to finish around the rim in so many different ways. That's a really nice compliment to an inside presence.
Hill, Pearson. On his birthday, it's perfect. First 3 for number 3. Couldn't draw it up any better. Left open in the corner. He'll catch that every time. He moves to 1 for 2 on the contest. 3 total points. Terry quickly on the other end. There's an answer. Good work from Jalen Terry to at least momentarily silence this John E. Worthen Arena crowd.
With Jalen Terry been struggling from 3 in the last couple games, so it's nice to see him knock one down.
Britton Watts wanted to feed one inside. It's intercepted. Terry so twitchy with the rock in his hands. He'll go down low. Billingsley, spinner, and good. Just too big for the defense. There were a couple Cardinals down there, but the senior looked unguardable. His first try is good on the day.
Billingsley just too big, just too strong. He's improved almost every year he's been in college. Almost first year averaging about double digits. Such an efficient scorer down low on that low block.
Hernandez pickpocketed. Jalen Terry all alone. Oh yeah, he's able to fly. Only 6 feet, but looking like Muggsy Bogues, and the Eagles gonna force the Cardinals to send a look to their bench. Michael Lewis irate with Ben Hendricks. The score 26 in favor of Ball State to Eastern Michigan's 23. It's anyone's battle in action from Worthen Arena.
You just can't beat a post-game burger at McDonald's, right? And you can't beat the Angel Reese Special. All right, let's break it down. It's a quarter pounder with my favorite barbecue sauce, American cheese, crispy bacon, pickles, and onions on a sesame seed bun. Get the Angel Reese Special at McDonald's. What are you waiting for?
You can't be demanding. You can't be relentless. You can't put yourself first. So, put yourself first. You can't dominate. So dominate. You can't fill a stadium. So fill that stadium. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be ambitious. You can't have any fun. You can't be proud. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
At Planet Fitness, no 2 members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3.
Woo! And they do it for different reasons.
You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this. Come on.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
1 more, everybody.
1 more? I got 5 more.
Check-in time is 3.
It's 2:55.
I know.
Is this what he's doing now?
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. No games, no fun.
Yes, Coach.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, when other vacation rentals make you share your turf with a host, try one you have all to yourself.
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
Women's college hoops all season long on the networks of ESPN.
4 Nations Face Off begins Thursday on ESPN and ABC.
Your head coach at Eastern Michigan, former 3-year letter winner as a player there from 85 to 87. Michael Lewis in his 3rd year with the Cardinals. Both coaches have impressive resumes and lengthy lists of stops to wind up at a head coach position in NCAA Division I basketball. You take a look at Michael Lewis's resume. Xander, 45-50 as the coach of Ball State. The 20-win season in 22-23. That's what really jumps out as his best moment so far as a Cardinal.
Oh, absolutely. Michael Lewis, even though it's his third season at Ball State, 5 wins above 500, that 20-win season, as you pointed out back in 2023, he's paid his dues as far as being an assistant. He's paved the way for a lot of recent head coaching hires within the lower conferences, and he's really been one of those coaches that have really been experienced and such a fiery head coach for his team.
As for Stan Heath, the captain of the Eastern Michigan ship, 3-time Coach of the Year winner back in the MAC in 2003. Then he did it in the Big East in 2012. Was also the coach of the Orlando Magic's G League affiliate, where he was the Coach of the Year in 2021 after they were league champions. Now he looks to knock off the Cardinals. Pearson unable to get it to go. Rebound with Terry again at only 6 foot. He's filling out the stat sheet. As the outside dish, a little offline for Nelson. It forces a reset. Pump fake, now will go up. Osoynik got it. And Eastern Michigan's run up to 9-0 in the last 90 seconds.
Osoynik, not known for his three-point shooting, but when he gets hot, when he has the hot hand, he can really hurt you.
All the momentum in the corner of the visitor. Ball State desperate for an answer. Here's a good guy to go to when you need one. He puts it in through the goaltend. Never a doubt for Peyton Sparks, as the 6'10", 265 senior from Winchester, Indiana, makes it look easy.
Oh, absolutely. And he's just such a physical and large presence down low. So when he's able to square up and kind of box you out with his shoulders, it's almost effortless because he's so wide and he's able to get there. And he has such a good touch, especially with him being a lefty. It's not really too much you can do with such a load down low.
He spells an end to the 9-0 EMU run, but they've been heating up on offense. Terry looks to keep it going. One-handed pass, too much. Good recovery from Nelson. He's face guarded by Pearson. Backing down number 3, back outside, open look. Just off the left iron from Billingsley. Don't let his size fool you. He can let it rip. 34.5% the mark from deep this season. Hernandez through the teeth of the defense, cuts the lane, gets his own block, gathers and scores. Hernandez just 2 away from reaching quadruple figures in his collegiate career. Those are points 997 and 998 for a player chasing history. On the other end, Henry through Sparks. You know, the height certainly in favor of number 5, but he was able to just shield it for long enough to feather it off the glass.
Oh, absolutely. Henry, one thing about his game, we can say, AJ, not afraid to finish above the trees for sure.
I like that, above the trees. That was a high finish from Christian Henry. Hill looks determined for an answer of his own. He slithers to the rack, leaves it short. Sparks, good effort and better putback. The reigning MAC player of the week just might do it again.
Yeah, he's been on one as of late. Just, again, like I said, not really too much you could do with somebody with that much size. You have to get a body on him early if you're going to want to be able to corral some of these rebounds.
After the football pass from Nelson, it's ripped from Osoynik over the head to Britton Watts. Too much. As Fat Hill saw the open man, tried to quarterback the offense, but let the go ball fly a bit too deep, and it will be a turnover on the Cardinals. That sends us into break. After a 9-0 Eastern Michigan run, Ball State came out with answers. It's a 32-28 lead for Ball State on ESPN.
At Planet Fitness, no 2 members are alike, but they all have one thing in common. They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires. Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
Oh, look, that's me and Griffin Leonard. The students of Ball State Sports Link doing unprecedented work yearly. This is a completely student-ran media production, and we're opening our doors to you if you're a high schooler looking to pursue a career in sports media. Ball State Sports Link may just be the answer for you. There's an upcoming high school media summit in Xander. Zach of an opportunity. There's a freshman already getting work done in Daniel Sullivan. On the other end, there's Addison King. I mean, this is not possible without everyone behind the lenses, and I mean it deeply when I say that this is a group that means a lot to me. There's nothing like doing a broadcast with your friends. There's one of mine right there. What's up, Isaiah? Everyone killing it, and everyone shooting each other's cameras. Brandon Beeman, in true style, not looking to the camera, but he's got the no-look wave down. And we're back to the floor. But seriously, to the cameras, thank you all. And to the High School Sports Media Summit, on that note, Xander, amazing opportunity if you're looking to get into the field.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're looking to try to submerge yourself in sports, media content creation, what better place than to take that opportunity here at Ball State University with their nationally recognized program like SportsLink. And for me, I didn't really have that program coming from where I did. I just knew what I wanted to do. Now, me growing up, if I was to grow up in Indiana, to hear about and have this opportunity to learn under media industry professionals, people that have been in the industry for years and years, I would absolutely love to take advantage of an opportunity like that, as it's going to be able to help me advance in my career further.
Those just joining us, the Cardinals up by 4, but Eastern Michigan scorching hot from the floor. They're 6 for their last 7 from the field. And now it's a great feed inside. $1 million pass from Deshaun Nelson, who lets him know he's got ice in his veins, slaps the forearm on the way back. And it's the first 2 points of the day for Dylan Tingler.
That's the second really nice assist that we've seen from Nelson. He's more than a scorer, AJ. He's someone that has eyes in the back of his head, and he's able to find his teammates almost before they're even open.
A true facilitator. Ball State looks to facilitate their offense here. Hill, the one who typically gets it done, loses his touch, but gets it back to Pearson. 5 to shoot. Hernandez gonna let it fly. Just short, and again, Jalen Terry, right place, right time. He'll push in transition. Spot-up jumper. Bingo! That silences everybody, as just like that, the Eagles race out to the lead.
Yeah, if Jalen Terry has the ball in his hands, the former 4-star and Oregon Duck and DePaul transfer, he's going to look to try to score.
Britton Watts gets rid of the first EMU lead of the night, just like that. From downtown, the triple good for number 2. And this is the contest everyone signed up for. Battle of the Birds, back and forth. It's been a defensive one early. The offense is starting to light up. Here's Shanu the second.
Britton Watts, kind of quiet early on, but able to make a statement with that 3. Is able to respond from the Jalen Terry triple.
It's a misfire offensively for Dylan Tingler and the EMU Eagles. As you get a look at it here, just a miscue, Xander.
Yeah, just a pass that Eastern Michigan would really like to have back. Tingler just not in the same page with Jalen Terry. Just one of those plays that you'd like to have back. A little bit better communication from the players on the floor.
Ball State looks to score off the turnover. It's a foul on the floor. The points off turnovers have been in Ball State's favor. 9 to 8 early. Both teams have been sprinting out in transition. This one a bit more unorthodox, as it was just an errant pass out of bounds. And with the foul on the floor, it allows a substitution opportunity. In is Yusuf Jihad for the Eagles. Out goes Deshaun Nelson. Britton Watts looked like he wanted Sparks, has to signal for the timeout. And Coach Lewis furious. Didn't want to blow one of his TOs there. Xander will keep it here. It was clear they wanted to go to Peyton Sparks, and for good reason. He's 3 for his last 4. And this is a guy who has really already put on display he can do it all.
Oh, absolutely. And he's been able to do this from his freshman year on. Just such a player that when you look at him, you're saying, oh, obviously, he's huge. He's going to be a dominant presence down low. He's going to be able to bully ball you. But he plays with a lot of finesse, too, AJ. He's a player that can really hurt you with his touch off the glass. His ability to really stick to those second chance opportunities. And that's why you want to primarily put him in the offense. Earlier on, it was a little bit of a struggle coming back from Indiana, his transfer year, but now he's really seeming to find his legs right back under him, and he's able to get back into that Ball State Peyton Sparks form that we are so accustomed to seeing.
Well, in Ball State's last contest, Sparks finished with a 13-point, 12-rebound double-double against Southern Miss in an eventual MAC Sun Belt Challenge W. It's already up to 9 on this outing. Looks to give Coach Lewis a reason to show some teeth with a smile after the frustrated response to the timeout signal from the baseline. He will entrust Britton Watts again out there. And now Gorosito's on the floor, as all 5 starters grace the hardwood for the Cards. Wansey sprints to the far side corner. He wasn't there, so they find Pearson. 90 seconds to go in half number 1. Ball State up by 2. Looking to make it 5. The birthday boy. Oh, yeah. Sound like the Kool-Aid man. Makes me want to run through a wall. Mickey Pearson. Cakes and candles and 3-point jumpers.
And Mickey Pearson, not somebody you want to leave open. He's been really good from 3 these last 5 games or so. Just not a player you want to get lost in when you're inbounding the basketball, and then you find him wide open after playing such a good defensive possession. That's really got to hurt the Eagles right there, excuse me.
Christian Henry. Far side corner, it's Osoynik. He wants a 3 himself, far too long. Winds up off the left side of the glass, and after Sparks gives off to Britton Watts, they only see a few more possessions in this half. Let's see who will value him more. Watts surveyed his options, found Pearson, who leaves a pass wide for Hill. At Hill, one-track mind, he wants to get inside. Not afraid to back down his defender, but it's off the front iron. And on the far side, both number 3s were tangled up. It was Pearson and Terry, and it looks like they will get Jalen Terry on the loose ball foul. It's his 2nd personal foul.
Eastern Michigan really been plagued with a lot of foul trouble as of late. I know Jalen Terry, he's looking like, man, he's so much bigger than me. Ref, what do you want me to do? But, you know, if you're a guard, you got to really get a low center of gravity. And if you want to block him out, you got to really attack that lower body. No need to attack the arms.
Hill, Euro step, knocks it down. He just went through 3 Eagles and soared to the rack.
I like what you did there. I saw that. You soared to the rack. You're not slick, AJ. You're not slick. I see what you did there.
They'll force the timeout out of head coach Stan Heath's pocket.
Yeah, and if you're Stan Heath, he's probably thinking to himself, without a primary shot blocker, it's just too many points in the paint, especially from Jamari Hill. How he's able to just knife through the defense. That just can't happen, especially if you're going to want to try to stay into this game. I know defense has been a struggle all year, but you got to find a way to keep them from these dribble penetrations and getting so many paint touches early in this ballgame.
Bread and butter from Fat Hill. This break gives us a chance to check in with Griffin Leonard.
Guys, one thing quickly for you. I know Coach Michael Lewis has famously said that one of the things he cares about least in basketball is the halftime score. But the Cards are going on a run at the good time. They're on an 8-0 run at the moment. And this season in Mid-American Conference play, AJ, when the Cards are up at the half, they're 3-0.
1-0 in last week went up at the half. They're able to get it done in action, and they took on Buffalo. There's 9 seconds separating game and shot clocks. Billingsley way off the mark, and Ball State should have possession for the final look here, behind a 7-point lead in their pocket.
You know, if I'm Ball State here, no need to overcomplicate it. Just want to get a quick, easy shot. Look to see if they try to get Sparks involved here.
3 seconds. It'll stay with Hill. Through the defense, he's stuffed. And that's how the buzzer sounds on half number 1. It was Ball State went on an 8-0 run to finish the first half. Eastern will now start with possession as Ethan Britton-Watts on your screen, face guarding Jalen Terry. We're off and running in half number 2. Great backdoor feed. Christian Henry lays it in, and the scoring quickly starts, and that Ball State run quickly silenced.
You know, AJ, Deshaun Nelson, relatively quiet for his standard scoring, but as a facilitator, he has been quite impressive in today's ball game.
Fat Hill goes in on Christian Henry. It'll send him to the line to shoot 2 with Henry's 10th point coming on that finish. It's his 20th time in the double figures this year. As we get a look at what happened with Fat Hill, hacked on the way up, he'll go to the line. And there's some intrigue here as well. This is a Ball State team that has the 9th most free throw attempts in all of the NCAA. There's 360 qualifying teams. They're averaging 26 free throw attempts per game. They have the 11th most made free throws in the country, but Xander, you know what Coach Lewis would like to emphasize and see his group improve on? They're getting to the line at a top 10 rate. They have the 286th best free throw percentage in the entire nation. That ranks in the bottom third.
Yeah, AJ, today, for what it's worth, they're 6-6. But you're absolutely right, and a lot of that comes down to your guards being able to shoot from the free throw line. Fat Hill, as athletic as he is, not the best from the free throw line. Some of the other guards, number 2, Britton-Watts, not the best from the free throw line. You got to be able to have more efficient scoring opportunities at the charity stripe because, after all, they're called free for a reason.
Nelson was able to score on the scooping reverse, and now Fat Hill leaves one far too wide for even the large Peyton Sparks.
That's the second time today where you've seen Hill and Sparks not being on the same page. You would like to see those two have a really good two-man game. You couple Hill's athleticism and Sparks' size, that could be a dangerous, dangerous combo.
I've got a question for you. They roll the ball in off the inbound. You think they're already playing the time game, wanting as many possessions as possible, or is that just antics early in half number 2?
Oh, no, absolutely. That was intentional. It's a very smart play by the coach, as we're able to see Terry going for 2. But that was on purpose. You realize that possessions matter, and especially as you're going into the second half, you want to make sure you're able to make the most out of them and save the most time towards the end of the stretch, considering you have not had the lead for the majority of the game. Matter of fact, you've only had the lead for around 15% of the game.
Gorosito shakes off his own look. The typically confident shooter. Not going to let it fly there. See if they go back around the horn. Hill calls for a screen, gives him the room he wanted. And that's really not his look. Only a 23% three-point shooter. Ball State going to catch a break as Eastern pulled it back within 3. Had a chance to get it back within 1 there, but the pass had a bit too much mustard for even the speedy Christian Henry.
Yeah, and AJ, that's another one of those opportunities. As you can see, number 2, Deshaun Nelson pleading with Shoynick that you need to be able to make sure that we're slowing down and making the most out of these possessions. That's another careless turnover when you had a wide open Henry. That was going to be 2, AJ. You gotta be smarter, and you gotta be more careful with the basketball.
Have to value every possession in MAC play. Ball State looks to make the lead 2 possessions. The birthday boy Pearson nearly with a look. He was left open, but a good back tip will lead to a reset on the far side, as it will be Fat Hill to inbound. Ben Hendricks in for Peyton Sparks. See how that affects the look offensively. He's trying to back down Billingsley. It's the battle of the bigs down there. So when Hill's got it, he wants another look. He's blocked on the outside as the shot clock was expiring. Nelson got a palm to it. He'll get a lob. Oh! No grace for humanity. Nelson, booyakasha. It's within 1.
AJ, I have to get off my seat a little bit. He threw that ball up. I wasn't sure that Nelson was going to be able to get it. But get up there, young man. Get up.
Hill looks for a quick answer and has it from the mid-range. But, you know, all the credit's going to go to Billingsley with the crazy flush. It's not often you see a distributor the size of Nelson, 6'8", able to throw a lob like that. But it's what we've grown to expect from number 2. The Ball State lead back up to 3 as Hill's up to 15 on the contest. EMU's offense has been finding its footing. Henry looks to do just that. Hendricks able to swat it away. Hill, Gorosito. Money! His parents flew in from Argentina for the contest and witness him absolutely bury one through the cylinder, but you've got to hold your breath. As Ben Hendricks grabbing at that lower back after taking a hard spill under the rack. A foul signaled against Eastern Michigan. The foul comes on Billingsley. It's going to give Ball State the basketball fresh after Gorosito's first three of the contest.
Yeah, and right there, Soynick, he has to be better. And I understand that as intimidating of a force as Hill can be coming down on the fast break and just his athletic arsenal of moves, you got to be able to contest three-point shooters, especially when you have Gorosito coming down on the wing. You just have to trust the scouting report at that. You got to be smart.
Bad pass from Britton Watts, immediate foul from Jamari Hill. That's worst case scenario off the inbound. As Osoynick was playing heads-up defense, and we'll leave what Coach Lewis said up to interpretation. It's a 6-point Ball State lead. Possession goes to the green and white, where Jalen Terry will possess the pebbled stone and kick one in to Christian Henry.
You know, I'm not sure if you really saw that right there, but I really like what, Deshaun Nelson did for Osoynick. He was able to calm him down after
Oh, God. That was from a different area code. Excuse me, Xander. That was not the look there from Jalen Terry. Talk about a heat check. I mean, that was, 7 feet beyond the arc with plenty of time on the shot clock. You let that fly?
Yeah. And I know you did cut me off there, but guess what? No, it was all worth it. That was a deep shot. I don't even want to say it's a little bit out of his range. If you follow Mac play, especially Eastern Michigan, he can be on a heater. And so, coach, if you're the coach, you're not really mad at that shot. But, man, that was a little bit early in the shot clock, don't you think?
It was very early for that deep of a look. We'll leave it at that. It allows Ball State a look up by 6, where Sparks tries to back down a defender, has to rip one out to Britton Watts. Spinning midi, puts his man on the floor, but Osoynick right back up, pops up like a bunny and corrals the board. Now Britton Watts will reach in, and probably a good move. They had a 4-on-3 rush there.
First on him. Team number 2.
Here's the backcourt of EMU. Christian Henry, fiery first half. Still looking to hear from him here. Terry, another deep jumper. Again off. This one a bit closer. But it takes a carom off of a Ball State Cardinal. So possession will stay with Eastern Michigan when we are back. They pulled it all the way within 1, but Ball State had some answers. Highlighted by this Gorosito wing 3. That was nothing but nylon. It's 47-41 from Muncie with 15:56 to play.
You just can't beat a post-game burger at McDonald's, right? And you can't beat the Angel Reese Special. All right, let's break it down. It's a quarter pounder with my favorite barbecue sauce, American cheese, crispy bacon, pickles, and onions on a sesame seed bun. Get the Angel Reese Special at McDonald's. What are you waiting for?
You can't be demanding. You can't be relentless. You can't put yourself first. So, put yourself first. You can't dominate. So dominate. You can't fill a stadium. So fill that stadium. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be ambitious. You can't have any fun. You can't be proud. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3.
Woo! And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this. Come on.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more?
I got 5 more.
Check-in time is 3.
It's 2:55.
I know.
Is this what he's doing now?
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. No games, no fun.
Yes, Coach.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, when other vacation rentals make you share your turf with a host, try one you have all to yourself.
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
Women's college hoops all season long on the networks of ESPN.
Four Nations Face Off begins Thursday on ESPN and ABC.
It's Juan Gorosito. I'm from City Santa Fe, from the north part of Argentina. I'm a point guard. I play for Ball State, and my major is communication.
Gorosito is such an inspiring story. On this evening from Muncie, his parents have made the trek, you saw it, over 5,000 miles to Muncie, Indiana to watch number 4 play. And an inspiration and understatement. He's been here since the age of 17, and we caught up with Coach Lewis earlier in the week, and he said that really just speaks to a testament to having to survive on your own. He was here at a young age, and, you know, Coach Lewis is a guy who has a lot of respect for Gorosito. He'll go to his house to fish to clear his mind. He's fully aware of the situation at home. It's amazing that his parents were able to make it all the way out to Muncie, Indiana, Xander.
Yeah, AJ, you said it's a beautiful story. We're able to have a foreign player come in to Muncie, Indiana, of all places, and he's able to really shine. But that just really shows to the testament of how basketball as a game that's just been growing over the last couple of decades. We're able to see it right now. We're able to see a player from Argentina shine in the MAC conference. It's a beautiful thing to see that how great of a unifier or an agent of unifier that the game of basketball has become, especially on a global scale.
That it is, and it's such a testament to Coach Lewis and his uncanny eye for talent. Able to spot Gorosito playing pro ball in Argentina. He then came to America. And it's not just Ball State with that kind of luster. Eastern Michigan has 4 international players themselves, all hailing from different countries in Nigeria, Senegal, Slovenia, and Italy.
It's just a beautiful thing to see, to watch this game just expand from all corners of the world.
Here is Gorosito. He's guarding Osoynik. Gets caught up in a screen. Osoynik, teardrop. Far too long, and Gorosito does come down with the board.
That's a really good contest right there from Mickey Pearson. He's arguably Ball State as far as an on-ball defender. He's their guy that can really, you can match up because he's so long and so athletic that you can put on your best player, leave him on an island, and you can feel comfortable if you're Coach Lewis.
He also brings it offensively. A pair of triples in this one account for all 6 of his points. 6 to shoot. Sparks gonna have to dish this one off or back down. He opts for the latter and finishes with the left hand. Nifty move. Sparks gets the lead out to 8 and himself to the double digits in scoring.
The dancing bear. He said, man, that's barbecue chicken down there. He knows he can't guard him. Shaq reference.
I love it. Billingsley off the glass, he does it himself. Well, if the last one was barbecue chicken, what's this, chicken Alfredo?
I don't know about chicken Alfredo. We wouldn't bring chicken Alfredo to the barbecue, man. Maybe some short ribs. Maybe some short ribs.
Oh, I love a good short rib. 6-point lead for the Cardinals. Hungry for points out there.
Oh, absolutely. Feed him again. He has good position. Swing. Get the extra pass.
Van Hill fakes it. Britton Watts, 3. Just off the back iron. Here comes Osoynik. Christian Henry barking out orders. Wants some help up top. It looks like he wanted Billingsley
to come set him a screen.
And it's illegal.
Yeah, an illegal screen right there. That can happen a lot, especially when you're running cross court. Your momentum is carrying you forward, and when you're setting that screen, you got to have 2 of your feet set. Billingsley just not able to really stop his forward progression, and there you're going to see another turnover for Eastern Michigan, and Jeff Heath, Coach Heath, excuse me, he's not happy about that one.
Cardinals certainly happy to get an extra possession. See if they can capitalize. Goes all the way around the horn. Far corner with Britton Watts. He has the ball in his left hand. Dishes to Hill, who lets it fly. And again, up short for three. Make it 0 for 3 from deep. Now here's Britton Watts from downtown. Just long, but another well-fought board. This one's going to come on the floor, and it's a foul on Eastern Michigan. Looks like they'll get Dylan Tingler, the guy who had the team-high 5 rebounds in the big win versus Old Dominion. Coach singled him out as a player who's been waiting to hear his name called and takes advantage of every opportunity. This one he'd like to have back as, he hooks Mason Jones. Yeah,
Tingler, he's a very, very aggressive, hard-fought player, but you got to be careful when you're, arm fighting, not to tangle him up. But again, we see Mason Jones, a player that is getting himself in those positions to try to get some garbage points, get down and dirty, and really fight for those extra possessions.
Oh, that was a great package from Fat Hill. $1 million move. Just couldn't get the same payout on the finish as here's a foul down low. It came in the battle between Nelson and Hill, and they're going to get Ball State number 1 with the foul. It's Jamari Hill's 3rd foul of the game. Ball State's 4th in half number 2. So Hill's going to have to go to the bench. This offense looks much different without its leading scorer, leading passer, top 3 in rebounds. Hill really is the one who gets the offense going. So let's see what Ball State can do on both ends of the floor without their junior college transfer superstar. EMU will look to take advantage. Hill also leads the team in steals. He's a do-it-all player. Now Mason Jones unhappy with what appears to be an off-ball foul on him, and it is. It's Jones' first, team's 5th.
I'm surprised it's Jones' first, considering of all the mix-up that he's been involved in. It seems like whenever we see him battling down low at somebody else, somebody's grabbing their face, their elbow, hitting the deck. That's not somebody you want to get into a fight with down low if you're the opposition.
No. Scrappy player is the sophomore from Valpo, Indiana. On the other end, Henry gets Gorosito jumping, waits just long enough, and that's a really good stutter go from number 30.
Eastern Michigan's been on a little bit of a tear this second half. Ball State hasn't really been able to find the bottom of the basket as well as they have been earlier in the first half. I'd like to see them to be able to quickly get going once again here.
Bounce pass into Hendricks. He has it ripped from him. Transition play. Here comes Jalen Terry, coast to coast, extra pass. Waits for Deshaun, puts it up through Hendricks. How? How do you finish that look? Yeah, big man, slap the MAC logo. You earned it. We're within 2.
Yeah, Hendricks, Nelson's over there barking now. He knows what time it is, and he's a big-time player.
Hernandez, through the pressure, just picked up 1,000 points. That is a huge career accolade for number 33. As he's able to get it to go. And with those 2, he has reached exactly 1,000 points in his long career that has spanned time at USI, where he was their leading scorer. Obviously, everyone knows what he's been able to do with Ball State. The former Ohio Valley Conference first-team honoree, up to 1,000 in his coveted career, as Nelson, after the big put-up, showing a little bit of confidence. He will be at the free throw line when we are back. This one going to go down to the stretch. Battle of the Birds, all that was promised and more. Look at this play. Bobbled through the defense. Pump fake. Hendricks all over him. Nelson doesn't care. He gets it to go. It's a 4-point game from Worthen.
Blind spot that's never out of sight. How it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Get 1.99% APR or up to $1,250 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
You can't be demanding. You can't be relentless. You can't put yourself first. So, put yourself first. You can't dominate. So dominate. You can't fill a stadium. So fill that stadium. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be ambitious. You can't have any fun. You can't be proud. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3. Woo!
And they do it for different reasons.
All right. You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
There you got this. Come on.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
Check-in time is 3.
It's 2:55.
I know.
Is this what he's doing now?
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. No games. No fun.
Yes, Coach.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, when other vacation rentals make you share your turf with a host, try one you have all to yourself.
Ball State leads at 51-47. Both sides have provided some must-see television from Worthen Arena. That's always so fun to watch on the hardwood. But what happens off the court, so fun as well. This is our very own LJ Shreve, a member of SportsLink, who is shooting with the interim CCIM dean, Kristen McAuliffe, in a shootout that they would ultimately reign victorious and bring home the trophy for the department. Well, our very own sideline reporter, Griffin Leonard, competed in the same event last year, and let's just say it's safe to say he couldn't find those same results.
You know what, AJ? I thought that we did fairly well. I was, of course, paired up with former Dean Paige Turner, and we had a blast. It was so much fun, and like I said, I thought we did well. I don't know if we have those highlights anywhere somewhere in the caves of the replay machine, but after watching that performance, I might have to go back and look at my own hard work a little bit. Really proud of what LJ and Dean McAuliffe showed out there, holding it down and showing the media group's capable of.
Well, Griffin, you won if you had fun is a saying that only works until a certain age, and at some point I want to see some hardware in your corner. So 0 for 1 on the trophy hunt for Griffin Leonard, but LJ Shreve, he brought it home, and that trophy's going to look great on the shelf. Now it's time for the Battle of the Birds. Looking to bring home this rivalry, and the only time they meet one another this year, it's Nelson at the line to shoot 2. Looking to pull it within 2. The 74.8% free throw shooter, perfect on the first.
Rashawn Nelson, Eastern Michigan's really been calling his number this second half, and I'm loving how aggressive he's been. First half, we've seen him in a little bit more of that facilitator role, able to run the offense from the wing spot, but now he's been, calling his own shot and able to get down low, get a couple hop steps down low in the paint, and he's going to take a quick break, I would assume, for Coach Heath, as they're able to sub in Jihad for the Eagles.
Full court press implemented by the Eagles. I loved that confidence from Nelson, smiling at the line before he even went up with it. He knew that second one was going to go home, and it did. The Cardinal lead down to a mere 2 tallies. There's 10 to shoot. Sparks hits the deck. Offense has to go the other way. Here's Hernandez. Fresh after reaching 1,000 career points, he gives to the birthday boy, Mickey Pearson, just off the mark and off balance. As now both teams a combined 2 for 13 on their last 3-point efforts. The scoring's been coming from inside. EMU's had the better of it in half number 2. Here's Jalen Terry. 2 much bigger men on him. He'll step back and gets it. We're knotted up at 51 apiece.
One thing about Jalen Terry, he is not afraid to shoot it. He's confident in his own abilities, very much a shifty point guard. He believes that he can get his shot off against anybody, no matter how tall you are.
There's a put up and a foul underneath. Terry immediately had his hands on the top of the head, unhappy to hear a whistle. It will come. We'll have to see who the foul signaled against. Here's the shot from last possession for EMU. Drano from Terry. Here's where the foul's called. It looks like they will get Billingsley. Call Eastern Michigan didn't agree with, but there was a lot of contact on both sides. Hernandez gets the benefit of the doubt. The Cardinals certainly won't complain. Their 7-point lead from the half has since evaporated. That's a good chance to offer a cushion from the 72% free throw shooter, who's now up to 1,002 career points with a pair of charity stripe makes. Even with those two, Eastern Michigan on a 10-4 run over the last 4 and some spare change here in half number 2. Terry, deep three. This time letting it fly works for the Eagles. They've only led now twice in the contest, both by a singular point. But when it matters most here in crunch time, the Eagles up 1. 10 minutes to play in half 2. Peyton Sparks throws it down the cylinder, and a little extra flair. The left hand hung on for a moment, and Sparks feeling himself after that one. He's up to 13.
Yeah, that barbecue chicken down there had a little bit of extra seasoning on that monster jam by Sparks, as he's able to just throw the ball through the rim.
Put some Sweet Baby Rays on there. Now defensively, he gets the stuff. Sparks doing it on both ends. He did touch the ball with that orange sneaker out of play. But how about it from number 5?
Yeah, Sparks, a little bit quiet of a first half. I believe Sparks was thinking that he hit the ball off of Eastern Michigan, but it appeared that his foot was on the baseline. But if I'm Ball State and I'm Coach Lewis, I'm trying to find ways to get my big man involved.
Jalen Terry feeling it from downtown, back-to-back for him. Number 3 buries the 3. EMU's largest lead of the night, now up to 2.
Yeah, the former 4-star recruit, Jalen Terry, he's really feeling it tonight. And especially over these last couple of three-point tries, he's been hot.
Hernandez blocked down low, but will get the whistle. Revisiting Jalen Terry, he's had quite the journey to end up with Eastern Michigan. He started his career as an Oregon Duck and went to DePaul, where he met up with Deshaun Nelson. The two transferred to EMU together, and get this, Jalen Terry now leads the entire Mid-American Conference in minutes per contest, entering today with over 36.5 minutes played per game. That's only sitting on the bench for a mere 3.5 minutes. This guy is a dog on both ends of the floor, who shows serious heart, and after letting a couple deep ones fly, without being able to find his footing, he now has buried back-to-back. Is up to a career-high 7 3-points for Terry.
Yeah, Jalen Terry, he's able to find himself in a lot of these games getting heavy minutes and a heavy workload, because he's a guard that, though small in stature, he's very physical, he's very tough. He's a really good shooter, as we're able to see today. And, you know, struggled a little bit over these past couple games, but he's really found his rhythm. But despite his, you know, the shooting, what he does, because a lot of players can shoot, right? But he's able to really stretch the floor, and he's also able to cause a lot of mismatches on the defensive end as well with his speed and his really quick hands.
Xander, I'm impressed you're able to see him and stay so calm when witnessing John Chanou II just rise to the 12th floor of the Empire State Building and immediately come slamming down with the basketball. EMU up by 2. Still got the great demeanor, as Sparks is going to have to get 2 the hard way. But Xander, this game has gotten very physical as time has winded down.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's what Eastern Michigan is trying to do. When you look at what Coach Heath is really trying to implore for his team, trying to take Peyton Smith out of the game. You're seeing a lot quicker double teams. Look, 3 defenders with eyes on Smith as he's able to rise up for 2 right there. You know, they're trying to take away the interior of the game for Ball State. And give them their credit. This half, they've been doing a really good job at that. And that's why you're able to see them only down by 2 with just under 8:40 to go left in the second half.
I am so impressed by how Peyton Sparks has reworked this free throw line. Went from being his Achilles heel to now, through the MAC play stretch, an apparent strength. As, of course, the announcer's jinx ticks in, or does it? Wait a moment, there's a lane violation. Maybe it's the announcer's charm. Eastern Michigan, 7 for their last 8 from the field. Jalen Terry has set a career high with 7 3-pointers tried. He's feeling himself, the team spreading the rock well. And they'll take over possession, tied at 59. Sparks takes advantage of the second try.
You know, if I made my last 2 3-pointers, best believe I'm gonna try to get a heat check myself. Look for him to try to at least get a perimeter touch where he's able to get freed up for a 3-point attempt.
Christian Henry signaling what he wants his teammates to do. So many coveted guards who can touch the rock here. Henry still wants to do it himself. He'll give outside, high pass, corralled by Nelson. Nelson gathers again on the baseline, but he was out of bounds. He is fired up. Expects better of himself and his teammates. Here's the bouncer. And yeah, just couldn't bring it in, Xander.
Yeah, he just couldn't corral it. Ball taking, really, the ref was generous. Took a couple bounces on the baseline before he was able to make that turnover call on the Eagles right there.
Under 8 to play. We're tied at 59. Hill turns it over. Who else but Jalen Terry? Lays it in with 2 hands off the glass.
You know, right there, AJ, that's another time that I've been seeing that Jeremiah Hill, especially on these give-and-go situations, he's looking to make a pass before his feet are all the way under him. He has to be a little bit better when it comes down to those types of situations.
Ball State had the extra pass twice, missed Gorosito both times. Pearson gets stuffed. Here's Henry, nifty pass. Oh yeah! Nelson gets Sparks to go flying and is able to flush it home. Eastern Michigan's lead up to 4. Ball State needs to get something going here. Here is Jamari Hill. Gives to Gorosito, extra pass, wide open Hernandez, too easy. Number 33 lets it fly and sprays some Spider-Man-esque webs onto his bench. Rightfully so, he's up to 13 on the day. It's a big day for number 33. After a 6-point contest against Southern Miss, he's now more than doubled that in a big MAC outing.
What a really good contribution from Hernandez to give you 13 points off the bench. I'll tell you what, Ball State's needed every single one of them coming into the second half.
Terry, pump fake, sidestep, thinks otherwise. Eastern Michigan now 9 for their last 10 from the field. Can it be 10 for 11? No. Terry misses short. Hernandez wanted to streak down and get the full court pass. Gorosito opts to play smartly and slow things down. As with 6:25 to go, each possession so important. Hill, step back, through the contact, puts it up too long. Tingler able to come down with it for the Eagles. Christian Henry laboring up court. This has been a long time without a dead ball. And there it is on the kick from the card. So possession will be with the green and white when we are back. They have a 1-point lead on the road, as Sparks was able to absolutely slam one down, but Jalen Terry's been the story of the second half. He's helped EMU out to a 1-point lead.
At Planet Fitness, no 2 members are alike, but they all have one thing in common. They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? 5 more.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
Coaches in this contest acknowledged this likely the biggest contest of the season to this point. The MAC regular season over halfway over. These two teams sit at 4-6, but there's plenty of others in the standings. For more on this, we'll check in with Griffin again.
gets so close, doesn't it, AJ, at the end of the season? Ball State and Eastern Michigan in a four-way tie for the 6 through 9 seeds right now. It's the top 8 make the Mid-American Conference tournament out in Cleveland. Just 7 games to play after tonight. Every game so important, especially against teams that you're tied with in the standings. According to playoff status, both teams above a 50% chance to make a tournament, but the best case scenario, of course, a win tonight and a Western Michigan loss versus Akron. Akron's up on the Broncos right now, but a lot of good games going around across the conference, but every game so important, HA.
It only gets more and more important as we rapidly approach March. It feels like just yesterday the season was getting underway. Now over 2/3 of the way there. Biggest contest of the year to this point for these two teams has a mere 1-point margin. There's 6:11 to play. Eastern Michigan leads at 63-62 and possesses the basketball. Jalen Terry has been the man pulling this team back into the contest. But he has an errant pass just snatched out of the sky from Peyton Sparks, and that's how we return from the break. Hernandez gives to Pearson. Wide open Britton Watts. No, it's not going to count regardless. There's a moving screen. It'll go on Jeremiah Hernandez. That's what generated that much space.
Yeah, just another one of those situations where you're not all the way set when letting that off-ball cutter cut to the corner. Hernandez, he knows it. I can just look out on his face that he wishes he would have had that one back. You know, short-term memory as the Eagles are able to retain possession yet again off of almost a turnover battle we're having right here in the second half.
Christian Henry off the screen from Billingsley. Finds Jalen Terry. He's surveying his options. No one there. He'll have to do it himself. Inside. Too much. Put back up. No. Third try. No. They won't get a fourth effort. Hill has it. Wisely slows things down and finds Britton Watts. He wants to go coast to coast and does. Teach me how to Dougie Ethan. Britton Watts gets fancy with the footwork and puts the Cards up 1.
A beautiful move by Watts right there. As the defense thinks that he's about to go to his left hand, he quickly maneuvers his body, goes up off the off foot. He's able to finish for 2 with the right hand.
There is a timeout on the floor as Eastern Michigan will want to chat things over ahead of a pivotal possession. There's 4:53 to play. Ball State leads at 64-63. It's a good one from Muncie.
At Planet Fitness, no two members are alike, but they all have one thing in common. They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
One more? I got 5 more.
A family hauler that actually hauls how it should be. The Hyundai Santa Fe.
Get 1.99% APR or up to $3,000 bonus cash on the Hyundai Santa Fe. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
BK Melts, wanna warm up? This sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK Melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
You can't be demanding. You can't be relentless. You can't put yourself first. So, put yourself first. You can't dominate. So dominate. You can't fill a stadium. So fill that stadium. You can't take credit. You can't speak up. You can't be ambitious. You can't have any fun. You can't be proud. You can't keep score. You can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, there is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
Fasten your seatbelts and get ready for quite the ride. Anytime these teams meet in Muncie, it's bound to go the distance. Ball State down in this one late. It does wind up going to overtime. You see, 2 years ago, Ball State in OT was able to cap off the win. That was behind a 4-point rally with under 2 to go. Michael Lewis and the fans loved it from Worthen Arena. Then you go back to last year, a little bit more sour of a memory. Let it fly from half court. It wasn't the answer. And ultimately, Eastern and Ball State have split the last 2 contests in Muncie, Indiana. The point differential just +1 in favor of Eastern Michigan. They play each other so close from the nest. This no different. BSU up 64-63. EMU has possession. It's going to be a roller coaster finish. No shock, they'll start possession and trusting Jalen Terry. He'll quickly give up to Christian Henry. Both teams are keeping their stars on the floor deep into this one. Here's Deshaun Nelson. Back to Terry, deep 3. Oh man, he can't miss. Jalen Terry does it again. He's up to 22 on the day.
Yeah, Jalen Terry's been on a heater, 4 for 8 from 3 so far in this contest. Man, don't let him get a good look at 3 because he is going to let it fly.
It's accounted for a third of Eastern Michigan's points. Ball State looks for an answer to the test. They'll go to the birthday boy, Mickey Pearson, freshly 24, leaves it off the front of the rack. There's a foul on the floor against Eastern Michigan. As you see the athleticism of Sparks, he did a somersault on his way up.
Yeah, looked like he looked like he had a little bit of a testosterone boost on that somersault. Appears to be a little frustrated with himself right there, but you know he's going to get another shot at the charity strike for 2. 5 for 5 on the game for Sparks. It's been really efficient so far in this contest.
Well, Sparks 5 for 5 from the line. Get this, the difference in this game for Ball State has been free throws. Entering this trip, they are 13 for 13, a perfect day from the free throw line. Eastern Michigan only 3 for 4. Ball State outscoring them from the charity stripe by 10, make it 11 as they move to 14 to 14 off of this foul. That saw an athletic move from Peyton Sparks. Someone that big shouldn't be able to move like that, but Sparks an anomaly. So looks to get his team to 15 of 15 at the line. And the game back knotted at 66 apiece. Can't do it. There's the first miss for the Cardinals.
And you hit him with the announcer's curse.
That I did. Comes in a timely moment, too. Ball State trails by 1. See how gritty this defense can play with under 4 to go. Jalen Terry, the last man they want with the basketball. He gives to Nelson, who has been playing well himself, and Sparks thought he just ripped it away from the big man. Instead, it will be a foul against Mickey Pearson on the way down low. But let's look at this. Jalen Terry, grown man territory. Doesn't care. It's from up in Ypsilanti. It's good. EMU up 1.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
At Planet Fitness, no 2 members are alike. Their routines are different. They use different equipment.
1, 2, 3.
And they do it for different reasons.
You're a mythical beast.
But they all have one thing in common.
Hey, you got this.
They're all strong.
That's right.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
One more, everybody.
1 more?
I got 5 more.
What if there was no galaxy far, far away, and every second didn't count, and she never did let it go, and no one ever did get murdered in this building? Then that would really suck, wouldn't it? But hey, There is a galaxy far, far away, and every second does count, and she did let it go. And best of all, a whole bunch of people did get murdered in this building.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
And aren't we lucky for that?
Kid Conference Basketball on ESPN is brought to you by Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union. Reed's Plumbing, call the best, flush the rest. IU Health, get back in the game with expert orthopedic and sports medicine care in Muncie. And American Pest Professionals, tackle your pest problems with our Ball State Special. This one's going to come down to the final buzzer. 3:47 to play in the second half. The Eagles lead the Cardinals 66-65 as all eyes are deadlocked on the hardwood. It was a foul under the rim heading into the break. Signaled against Mickey Pearson, was his third and Ball State's eighth, and with EMU in the bonus, it will send them to the line for a 1-and-1 after they break their huddle. Stan Heath, the coach of EMU, knows the importance of this one. Nelson does as well. Eagles lead up to 2. Nelson, Eastern's leading scorer on the season. Gets up to 15 on the day. As Ball State has 4 of their 5 starters out there. The lone difference, the hot hand in Jeremiah Hernandez on the floor in favor of Juancy Gorosito. Here is Hernandez. The race just to get to it. 3.5 to play. Bouncer to Hill. Reverse lane. Oh, yeah. Cold as ice from Fat Hill to pull it within 1.
That was a beautiful cut by Hill. Able to just get behind the defense. Someone as athletic as him. If I'm Eastern Michigan, you do not want to lose your sights of Fat Hill.
Nelson tries to get his way to the lane. Late whistle. The Cardinals fans hate it. There's the second foul tonight on Ethan Britton-Watts. Will send the Eagles right back to the line. With the fouls that are likely to ensue here with 3:07 to play. First, we'll take a look on the other end of the floor at what Fat Hill did. Just a good cut and nice bounce pass. And then here, the point I was getting to. It's a reach and fall on Ethan Britton-Watts, but the man who has to be most careful of all is number 33 in green and white. John Chanou's impact cannot be overstated. He is this team's monster on the glass. He's lined up in between Sparks and Hill. And he's got 4 fouls. Can't afford another one, especially with a potential third period looming should we need overtime to get it done. They'll keep him out on the floor down the stretch as, again, Nelson is able to take advantage of the foul.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Heath, you almost have to leave him in there just to have somewhat of a bigger body to kind of offset Peyton Sparks.
Both teams clean from the line. Pearson may force his way there now, but they'll say the foul came on the floor, the put up after the fact. So it will be 1-and-1 for number 3. Check that, it doesn't matter, the foul was on the floor, as that was the 10th foul on Eastern Michigan. Nelson got a jab at Pearson. Just so lengthy. When you have the wingspan Mickey Pearson does, you're able to make yourself open in tight spaces. Now it's a big trip to the line for the man celebrating his 24th birthday.
Big trip to the line for Mickey Pearson. And also, that was Deshaun Nelson's 4th foul. Interesting to see how Coach Heath wants to operate some of his substitutions and matchups. as the game's coming down to the final stretch of the half.
Well, he won't keep both of his players with 4 fouls out there. Shanu, the second previously mentioned, did just check out in favor of Jalen Billingsley. The Eagles lead by 1, 2:45 to go in what's been a thriller. Errant pass, Ball State comes away with it. Hill in transition. Crosses behind the back, now gives to Sparks. Hernandez fakes around the horn, good fake, and is able to drill the and one. Confidence, poise, finish. 33 does it all. Here's the turnover that caused the points. And here's what happened on the other end. The jostle initially. Look at this head fake. Gets everybody. And a beautiful left-handed lay-in. Has him at the line trying to finish a three-point play, which he does. Cardinals up by 2.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move by Hernandez. As you see him trying to get the crowd into the game. Ball State is going to be looking to get every ounce of volume out of Worthen Arena as we're closing in on the 2-minute mark left in the second half.
Terry
hold on to that lead.
6 to shoot. Inside. Lays it in through the defense. We're tied after he's able to knock down a contested look. 24 now on the day for Jalen Terry. Hill loses possession. They'll say it was clean. However, what wasn't was Hernandez's poking on Terry. There's a discussion between officials who had different vantage points on it. And this is a big-time call. So Hill, I like that they kept the whistles in their pocket there. And yeah, that's a clear grab of the arm.
It almost looked intentional, AJ.
From Hernandez. And you're exactly right. I would bet that's what they're looking at, Xander.
I'm wondering, are they trying to find if that was a clear path foul or is that a common foul? I think that's what they're going to be reviewing. But again, AJ, that what led to that transition for Eastern Michigan was another, you know, uncertain type of movement or uncertain drive out of Jamari Hill. An extremely good athlete, an extremely crafty and athletic finisher around the rim, but sometimes what he tends to do is he likes to get up off of his feet and then just not have any type of decisiveness with the basketball. And if you're Ball State, that has to get adjusted very quickly, because that can't happen, especially at this point in the game. Any type of movement, any type of dribbled penetration, it has to have with some type of intent, AJ.
We get word from the officiating crew, what's being reviewed here is intent. If it is an intentional foul at this stage in the game, it's a flagrant, and that is a big deal with only 1:40 to play. This is a major call.
It is a major call, AJ.
That we're about to get word on.
Just have a common foul. We're in the double bonus. 2 shots for Eastern Michigan.
It is still a common foul. So it will be 2 shots at the line as it is in the double bonus. But Xander, that's going to be a huge sigh of relief for everybody in that Ball State huddle, but especially Jeremiah Hernandez.
Oh, absolutely, because he even, that foul looks definitely intentional, especially from my vantage point of reviewing it. It looks like he's chasing after him and just almost grabbing him right there. He's lucky to get away with that because a flagrant foul would have led to 2 free throws and possession of the basketball. And with 1:40 left in the game, any possession, and all possessions, are extremely important.
Look how great both teams have been from the line. Jalen Terry on the year, the best of them all. Shooting just over 90% from the charity stripe.
And if you're Eastern Michigan, this is the man who you want shooting the ball. He's had the hot hand all day. And if you're going to go down swinging, you want the basketball in his hands.
Well, for more on Jalen Terry's efficiency at the line, we'll send it to the third member of our crew, Griffin Leonard.
Well, Terry's first free throw rolls out there, AJ, but he's been a workhorse this evening and across the season. Only 7 points in the first half for the Eagles, 17 here in the second to take over this game. He leads the Mid-American Conference in minutes played. He is vital to the Eagles' success.
His trip to the line ultimately ends 1 for 2. It was a rare miss from Terry down the stretch. The Cardinals will take it. The deficit 1 with 90 seconds to play in regulation. Cut through the tension with a knife. The energy is palpable in this place. Who wants to be the hero? Mickey Pearson does. Headshot Mick gets the head tap finish. And he's up by 1 with his Cardinals now setting up defensively. Terry can't get it. And this now a massive possession for Ball State. No reason to rush. Timeout comes from Michael Lewis, and frankly, it's a good decision. The group looks like they were trying to get a shot up, and with 32 and 8/10 seconds separating the shot and game clock, there is no reason to rush a look on offense, rather.
No, absolutely not. And it was a well-timed timeout by Coach Lewis. Bodies were hitting the floor. The players, look discombobulated. Just trying to get your players back into sorts, especially with under a minute left to go in the basketball game and in regulation. You want to be able to have your smartest play drawn up just to get you a little quick bucket, or if not, you want to be able to buy as much time as possible before giving the possession back to Eastern Michigan so you can make their possession and their life a lot harder on the offensive end.
Mickey Pearson with that bucket now has scored double-digit points in 10 of 11 MAC games. Speaking of MAC games, Ball State has been extremely clutch both in and out of conference play. After struggling in said category a season ago, they are a astounding 4-1 in one-score games this season. The coin is simply flipped in their direction more often than not. And they could certainly use it here to move to 5-6 in MAC and back to 500 on the season. This possession could decide it.
We're seeing that two-man game again.
Hill lost possession. The ball's going the other way.
That's another turnover by Hill. Beating himself over that play. But again, you have to be more cautious with the basketball. You cannot turn the basketball over, especially in a one-possession game with seconds, just seconds left on the clock.
Now it's about capitalization. Who wants it more? Christian Henry through the teeth of the defense, and you just heard 1,000 people immediately go quiet. Game clock's off. 20 to go. Britton Watts nearly loses it, tries to go up with it. The ball is lost. There's a tie-up on the floor, and we're going to get a jump ball signal. Possession arrow is with the Cardinals.
Looked here that Britton Watts just lost the handle of the basketball, unsure of where he was going. Really good effort by Mickey Pearson to corral that loose basketball. Thought you might have had a timeout right there, but the refs are going to call a jump ball. So fortunate to get that possession arrow on your side of the court. Now, if you're Coach Michael Lewis, you want to be able to stay composed. You want to breathe. You want to get your guys under the composure that they need to close this basketball game out. No need to force a shot early. You still have 13 seconds left. You can run a play. Again, no need to run a shot early. You can run your play. You can run your offense. More than enough time here to get a quick bucket and potentially lead this game and leave Worthen with a win.
12.9 seconds, an eternity. this timeout feeling like multiple years. Both teams need it desperately. Xander, quickly. What do you think Ball State's bringing out of that huddle?
Well, if I'm Ball State, you're trying to get, again, a quick bucket. Where have you found the most success? Attacking deep in the paint. So if I'm Coach Lewis, I'm probably signaling up an action for Jeremiah Hill to come off a screen. You maybe want to try to get a pin down action and then a pick and roll with him and Peyton Sparks. Maybe trying to get some of your shooters like a Mickey Pearson, like a Britton Watts open in the corner. So if that doesn't work, you can do a dribble penetration and kick. But if I'm Eastern Michigan, one player, one thing you make sure you don't want to do, you need to send bodies at Peyton Sparks, as looks like there's going to be another timeout on the floor for Eastern Michigan.
Well, Xander, that's what's known as a mirror timeout. You let the group draw up their perfect play, send out all 5 of their guys, set up how they want to run the inbound. Now all of a sudden you get your coaching staff together and try to think of what kind of plays, when you look in the mirror, you could run out of that look and then draw up a defense to try to stop it. A little bit of chess being played, and you can't blame either side with a game that means this much coming down to the final 12 seconds and change.
Oh, absolutely. And Coach Heath, he's a pro. He's a matter of fact, he's a pro's pro. Coaching and having that pedigree that he has, especially down to the wire. And hey, he knows what it means to be in these types of situations. He's been there before. And especially with a game riding on so much tournament implications and seeding, it might seem pretty minuscule right now, especially at this part of the season. But down the line, a game like this can really decide your fate and who you're matched up against going into the tournament. And from that point, it's anybody's ball game.
A win for either side will push their streak to 2 and jolt them up the MAC standings. A loss and things get reevaluated. A singular point is what separates the Battle of the Birds. The last time a team named the Eagles dressed in green played a team dressed in red, it was Super Bowl Sunday, and it went in favor of the Eagles. Ball State looks to rewrite some history as Hernandez is to inbound.
On Ball State.
Huge! It's a foul on the way in, and Peyton Sparks is going to go to the line with a chance to take the lead.
You know what? That was not on my bingo cards of what I thought was going to come out.
And look who it's against. That's John Chanou II. He's out of the game.
Foul.
Wow.
And just like that, that is your biggest body that would have actually been able to try to contest Peyton Watts. But now he's able to go to the free throw line, perfect from the line today, with a chance to win the game for the Cardinals.
I mean, some stories you can't write any better. And this feels like it's straight out of a movie. Peyton Sparks, the man who won MAC Freshman of the Year in a Ball State Cardinals uniform, transferred to the lustrous Indiana University. Now comes back home, and where he struggled most in his career, but has seemingly flipped a switch over the course of the last month, is what may decide this contest. Sparks will have 2 tries given it's the bonus plus due to what happened on this inbound. Hernandez laid it over the top. Chanou II got a little too handsy. And the big man, Peyton Sparks, is going to have the ball in his hand with the clock still reading 12.9 seconds and a chance to give his team the lead.
And I think right there, Sparks knew that Chanou was holding on to him. Might have did a little bit of an acting job, but hey, I'm not on the Academy Award ballot. What do I know about thespianism? Espionage, rather. I'm just a Ball State student. But as we can see that Sparks he's going to be going for the line for 2. Opportunity to win the game, AJ. What a game we've had here. What a game we've been able to call. You know, these are the moments that you live for.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. These two free throws far from winning the contest. I mentioned it before the inbound even took place. 12 and 9/10 seconds in a game like this, it's about as good as an eternity. We've already seen one possession now lead to a trip to the line with 0 time eclipsed. And Sparks is going to take the line early.
But AJ, as you mentioned, Sparks transferring back to the nest. What a redemption story for him, especially this past month. You know, just Ball State's most consistent and best player, you could argue, from a scoring output, from a rebounding output, and even defensively, he's really just been really heavy on his activity on the defensive end, being a shot blocker. You know, he's had quite a run in these past 30 days.
That he has. The reigning MAC Player of the Week. In a monumental moment. Is being iced here due to Stan Heath and company taking their sweet time to make substitutions and get players on the floor. Trying to get in the mental of Peyton Sparks. Who can tie the game with one and give his Cardinals the lead with both. First one's off the back iron. A lot more pressure added to this second shot for the lefty. Gets the friendly roll, and we are tied at 75 apiece. Eastern Michigan going to use their last timeout. And now the question completely switches. 12.9 seconds. It's Eastern Michigan in possession of the basketball with a chance to win on the road. What do you think they are drawing up in their huddle?
Well, if I'm Ball State, I know who I don't want to have the basketball. And AJ, I think we know who that is. Number 3, Jalen Terry, the former 4-star recruit. And if you were talking about almost a comeback story in the last break with Peyton Sparks, he's had quite a journey in his tenure in college basketball. Went to Oregon, things just didn't work out. Went to DePaul, had a pretty good season there, and then finds himself here at Eastern Michigan. And so if I'm Eastern Michigan, I'm trying to feed the hot hand. Obviously, you don't want to force up a shot or need to force up a three-pointer if you don't have to. You're in a position with 12.9 where you can still run your offense. But if I'm Coach Heath, who I want to have the basketball, I want to have the basketball in the hands of Deshaun Nelson. This whole game, he's proved to be your best decision maker. I try to run a play for him, and if not, you can always have that three-point shooter in Jalen Terry to bail you out.
Only one way to find out. 6 seconds to play. Hill guarding Henry. Step back jumper. No good. We're headed to overtime from Worthen Arena. 2 stepping up. The big possession on the line is Deshaun Nelson behind his big game. Ball State starts with possession. Who's going to set the tone? The red and white offense, green and white defense. Hernandez, nice step back, 8 to shoot. Running out of options, he has to do a fadeaway, no good. Hill with the putback. It's an effort play that pays dividends.
Hill, an excellent rebounder out of that 2-guard spot. You can't lose sight of him. And if you're Eastern Michigan, there is not an excuse for why there is not a body on Fat Hill.
Here's Nelson, great backdoor feed, able to put it in off the bench for the first time today is Godslove Uabi. They're turning to the freshman in the absence of Shanu II, and he immediately is able to make an impact. Godslove guarding Sparks. Hernandez looking to force the switch. Can't do such, but will be fouled on the way up. Go to the line to shoot 2. Hernandez shooting just over a 72% clip from the line on the year. It's this look on the other end that tied things up. Godslove Uwabi, the Nigeria native who attended Mount Zion Prep, tied things at 77, but Hernandez turned a sticky situation into one that led to him in the favored position. That's his first free throw, his money. After picking up the big 2, Godslove goes right back to the bench. Jalen Billingsley now steps into the 5 position. Ball State's been clean from the line today, and they stay that way. Lead right back to 2. Jalen Terry pulls up, unable to knock it down. Good effort from Billingsley to poke it back in the Eagles' direction. But it is Ball State possession when it's all said and done. It was a decent look for Jalen Terry. Senior guard would love to have it back. We're under 3.5 to play in overtime. And there is an off-ball foul that sends Deshaun Nelson onto the floor. He is, however, the player being signaled for the foul. And Xander, you mentioned how big this is. Should this stand, it's his 5th, and now he's out of the contest.
Oh my goodness, man. You know, I didn't really get to see the severity of that elbow that he caught from Britton Watts. Man, that one really caught him on the eye bad. Hope he's all right. You know, hopefully, you know, that replay was worse than what it actually was. But man, that was a vicious elbow delivered by Ethan Britton Watts right on the face of Deshaun Nelson as he's getting looked at. Intended to.
Since we're in overtime, the officials will be able to take another look at this. And from this angle, it's very hard to see how that foul on the floor could have been called against Deshaun Nelson.
Yeah, if anything, it would have, from at least from looking at that vantage point of the instant replay, you would have thought it was on Ethan Britton Watts. You know, well, obviously nothing intentional there, but he's coming off the screen and he's very wild with his movement, out of control, and he catches him right on the face with Deshaun Nelson. But with that being his 5th foul, that is such a huge loss for Eastern Michigan. Now losing Nelson, who's probably been your best playmaker, at least from that wing spot, and then you're out of John Sanu, number 33, who's probably your best and biggest body that can really contest and bang down low with some of Ball State's bigs. It's going to be really interesting to see how battle-tested they are and how committed they are to winning this basketball game with losing 2 really strong talents for them.
Well, here's an interesting development. All 3 officials are meeting at midcourt. It wasn't shown on your screen at home. There was certainly, I don't know if it was meant to be shown, but there was certainly a signal as if this is going to be called against Britton Watts. And what a huge decision that would be in this moment.
Oh, absolutely, AJ. That right there, if that call was to be, going against Britton Watts, I believe. Watts. I believe that would be his 3rd foul right there.
It has been an absolute roller coaster ride to get to this point where 3 officials are meeting at the center of court. Let's see how we got here while we have a moment. The second half, Van Hill, timely turnover with just double digits on the clock. Christian Henry was able to finish on the other end. But this is the big moment. Peyton Sparks fouled on the inbound. Misses the first. The emotions show for Eastern Michigan, but he got the second, and the game-winning shot was no good. So we now have word that what's being reviewed here, the foul has been put on Ethan Britton Watts. Now it's about intent. And if that elbow to the face will be upgraded to anything beyond a personal foul.
Very intricate play. Foul on the floor stands. It's a hold on number 2 for Eastern. He is fouled out. After that, with an elbow coming to the temple, is a dead ball contact technical foul. Okay? So we'll shoot 2 free throws for the double bonus. We'll shoot 2 free throws for the technical, and then Eastern gets the ball. Okay?
All right, I really appreciate the explanation from the officiating crew, and get your pen and paper ready because it's a long one. The call on the floor of a foul on Deshaun Nelson stands. That will first send Ball State to the line to shoot 2. Then after the fact, Ethan Britton Watts is getting a technical foul for during a dead ball, having his elbow ram into the face of Nelson. So how it's all going to shake out is Ball State will shoot 2 at the line with Ethan Britton Watts. Then Eastern Michigan will shoot a pair of their own and take over possession. It starts here with Ethan Britton Watts, who misses the first. We've seen it all in this one, haven't we, Xander?
Oh, absolutely. And how huge of a development that has been for both teams. We're seeing 2 players, shooting free throws. Obviously missed the first one by Britton Watts, able to knock down the second. Now we're able to see Eastern Michigan shoot a technical 2 for 2 and retain possession with opportunity to take the lead.
So we take another look here. It was ruled there was intent in that elbow. That is what gave the flagrant. The fans here are now reacting to seeing the foul on the big screen. And Osoynik is able to cash in on his first look.
Yeah, and AJ, that replay, it doesn't really look like that's, helping Britton Watts' case with intent. It looked very bad.
Osoynik able to get them both. The Eagles will be without Deshaun Nelson for the rest of the contest. Their second player to foul out, as they're now without their 2 best bigs in forward Nelson and everyday starting center John Chanu II. We'll have to get crafty offensively, playing a bit more small ball. As Yusuf Jihad is into the contest for the Eagles. 3 minutes to go. 15 to shoot. Henry, Billingsley thought about a step back. Now there's 5 to shoot. Henry able to draw the foul, and Britton Watts with 2 very costly fouls now in this overtime period. This one from beyond the arc is going to give the heads-up Christian Henry 3 tries from the line. And Xander, there's no better display of basketball IQ than this. He felt the contact, and although it doesn't look like a good look, he knew to immediately go up with it.
Oh yeah, that rip-through move made so famous from players like the likes of a Kevin Durant, a Chris Paul. Basically, from the average viewer at home, you're probably saying, hey, what did the defensive player do? You can't have your hand that close into his space. And, it's a very smart move right there. By able to rip through and able to get into that shooting motion, it's going to cause a foul. Very high basketball IQ play right there by Christian Henry, as he's able to now go to the line and shoot 3.
Henry gets the first. The silver lining for the Cardinals, if any, in this situation is his recent struggles from the line. Did have a 7 for 10 day from the free throw line in the win against Old Dominion. Heading into that contest, he was a sub 65% shooter on the season. struggled immensely in MAC play from the charity stripe. Just missed a big one there. Godslov Uwabi back into the contest. Yusuf Jihad goes to the bench. And a big look to give Eastern a 1-point lead. He gets it. So it's a 2-for-3 trip after Christian Henry's heads-up look from beyond the arc. Now it's about putting the past 2 possessions behind you for Ethan Britton Watts. Don't want to try to do too much here if you're number 2.
Especially with that 4th foul. They need to pick up a quick 5th.
Sparks fakes a pass outside. He wants to size up his man and draws contact on the way up. This time it's Billingsley, who now has his 4th personal foul.
That's going to happen.
Check that. Look at this. That's Godslov Uwabi, and that is a big break on the call. The initial look was for Billingsley. And Uwabe was able to signal it was him and take fault in a big moment. That keeps his big man on the floor. Regardless, Sparks is able to make the first free throw. With 2:25 to go, he now has a chance to give the Cardinals a 1-point lead.
And right before that, AJ, just wanted to know that that was a really nice head fake from Peyton Sparks right there. A way to get the triple team up off him. There was almost 3 defenders in the area, just able to buy him enough space and enough time to get into the body of Godslov and able to go up for 2. And now you're able to see the Cardinals take a lead, and the fans in Worthen are on their feet trying to help their team get a stop.
Ball State has led for over 31 minutes of this game. Eastern Michigan only 6.5. Yet here we are. Possession for the lead. Osoynik set his feet, thought about it. Resets with Henry. Billingsley, screen, spin move. Henry, got it! Able to bury it, and immediately Worthen goes quiet.
That's a big shot right there from Henry, AJ. No fear, driving into the lane to the big Peyton Sparks.
Half the shot clock gone. Ball State needs to be certain they get a good look. That's what they can't do. Osoynik can take all the time in the world, as every second is valuable as gold deep into overtime. We're under 90 seconds to play. Jalen Terry has put up 25 on the day. Thought about trying to get to 28. Ball State wanted a move. Instead, they're going to get a whistle, as Fat Hill has accumulated his 4th foul.
So AJ, right now, we're really at that point of the game on who's going to be the next player to foul out. So many players with 4 fouls. Hill with 4 fouls. Britton Watts with 4 fouls. Billingsley, with 4 fouls. Both sides got to be cautious here. And Billingsley misses the first. With management and player rotations and matchups, it's going to be very interesting to see as we are just closing in on that 1-minute mark of overtime.
It's clear the approach here from Eastern Michigan. They like Godslov Uwabi on defense and Yusuf Jihad offensively. So Uwabi back in, trying to clash the offensive glass, won't need to. As with 1:17 to play, Eastern's lead goes up to 2 after a 50-50 trip to the line.
Pearson going to roll the ball out. Just trying to give the Cardinals the most time possible to operate here with on this offensive possession.
Hernandez inside, loses possession. It's headed the other way. What a defensive effort from the Eagles. I believe it was Billingsley who got a hand in to pickpocket 33. And really, it's just Hernandez running out of room on the baseline. Billingsley closes out beautifully. Hernandez dribbles off of his own right foot. And Eastern Michigan has a chance to push the lead to 2 possessions.
Right now we're seeing a lot of opportunities for the Cardinals, but just turning over the basketball, not even getting an opportunity to try to take the lead here. They're really shooting themselves in their own foot here, AJ.
Henry, pull up from the charity stripe, no good. Rebound goes Mickey Pearson. He's hit in the face. And Jihad is going to send the Cardinals to the line with a chance to tie it.
And AJ, that was a really late foul right there. Eastern Michigan's bench really expressing their disbelief in that call just because of how late. And I think they're really trying to say that Pearson, it was only called just because of the reaction.
Oh, wow. Mickey.
Yep, and AJ, they don't call the foul until right there when he's able to put his hand down on the ground.
You're exactly right. But regardless, the Cardinals' best free throw shooter gets a pair. Enter today's shooting at an 84% clip. And buries the first. On his 24th birthday, Pearson ties the game. 8.8 seconds separate the game clock from the shot clock. This feels like a March environment. It's only February the 11th. And Stan Heath starting to feel it as well, going to give his group a chance to regroup with 13 to go on the shot clock.
AJ, what a spectacle we have here underway going into overtime. 20 seconds left, or excuse me, just a little bit over 20 seconds left at the end of regulation. I'll tell you what, this game is definitely giving me a lot more than I've expected. And trust, that's in a good way.
And that's saying a lot because we knew we had a good game on the docket. I don't think anyone quite knew the extent of it. These teams went to overtime in 2023, and this was the final result. That's a young Peyton Sparks burying a free throw to push the lead to 2 possessions. And that was ultimately the difference maker that allowed Coach Lewis to celebrate with the fans on what was a big-time win for the program. See if history can be rewritten this evening. A contest that tipped off over 2.5 hours ago is down to its final 20 seconds of action.
And AJ, on the 78th anniversary of the first time these two teams matched up with each other, it's all coming down to this.
Hill gonna force him off schedule. 4 to shoot. Henry loses possession. Spin move. Hill with the block. Offensive board, but there's a foul. Ball State's going to have possession with a chance to win this game. As it's a costly mistake from Jihad, his second in the last minute.
It's really smart there by Sparks. As you see, he's about to reach in. That discipline of him just to keep his hands clear from the ball.
7 to go. Who wants to be the hero? Fat Hair runs! Oh, yes! It's good as it goes. It doesn't. Oh, my Lanta!